Hello everyone, I'm Namita and welcome to Yoganama. Today's is an energizing session where we will work on activating the core and the hip flexors. So let's get started in a lying down position. We will begin with leg raises. So supine posture is what we will take. Extend the legs out. And let's take a few breaths first to initiate the practice with some mindfulness, with some breath awareness. So let your hands rest on the belly if you would like, giving you some extra feedback as you inhale and exhale, guiding you into improving the quality of your breath. Also helping you bring your awareness to an area that we will physically be using a lot in today's practice. Let your breath energize you, give you the stamina and the strength we want to bring in today's practice. And on the next breath, you can open your eyes with a few gentle blinks, adjust the posture, and we will begin first with single leg raises. So you can have your hands by the side, under the head, or if you have any kind of lower back issue, you can even support your hips with your hands like this. Let's begin. On an inhale, take the right leg up as far as it is comfortable for you, and then on an exhale, bring it back to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Let's keep doing this 9 times. Starting now. 1. On the left side. Keep breathing. 2, release, other side, which is the left, 3, and back. Also good to stretch out the hamstrings, which will feel the pull as you lift the leg up. 4, right, on the left. Let's go for 5, other side. 6. Do not give up. If these become challenging, then you can bend the knees slightly, but keep going, which is like this. Bend the knee. 7. Other side. 7. 2 more. 8. Lift. Modify, but don't give up. Left side. Almost done. Right. Lift. And release. Left. Lift. And release. And rest for a moment or two, preparing yourself for double leg raises. If these are very difficult, double leg raises, lifting both the legs up and then bringing them down with control. If this feels difficult, know that you can modify by slightly bending the knee, lifting up, and then bringing them down. Or you can continue doing single leg raises. Let's go for it, starting now. 1. And back. 2. And back. 3. Return. 4. And back. 5. 6. Slowly return. 7. And back. 8. And back. Last one. 9. And let's hold it up here just for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly, with control, make your way back. And breathe here. Let out a nice big exhale and take 2 more breaths to help you transition into the next part of the practice. So let's rise up for that, and you can take your hands up overhead, and on an exhale, peel yourself off the ground to come into a Dandasana position. Now for the next practice, it will be good if you elevate your hips a little bit. So I'm going to grab a blanket and sit on that. You too can get a light pillow or maybe even a block to sit upon. So this is the blanket that I'm going to be sitting on, and you can, as an option, have 2 blocks as well. In case you have the blocks, you can keep them under the hands. These are optional, you don't necessarily need them, but they help. And what we're going to do is lift the right leg up and gently bring it down. Lift the left leg up and release. Don't have blocks, keep the fingers in front of you, lift and back, lift and back. So these may feel challenging. They're really getting into the hip flexors as well as stretching out the hamstrings. So you can bend the knees, lift and back, lift up and back. And if your spine tends to round, then a good way to do that is to sit against the wall like this, giving yourself a little space for maybe 5-10% rounding, but not too much. Pull the navel in, lift and down, lift and down. So that's one way, or rather a couple of ways to do that. Choose one method that works for you, and we shall begin. We will do 9 of these. You can even have your hands up, forward, whatever works. So let's lift. 1, 2, right and back, left and back. 3, other side. 4, other side. 5, left, right, hand left, almost like marching. 7th round, right, left. 8th round, right, left. And 9th round, right. Very good. And left, and rest for a bit here. Maybe rest your hands above the knees. Feel free to bend the knees if that feels better for your lower back. And take a breath or 2. From here, you can move the blocks out to the side and also the blanket. Let's move into downward facing dog. So pressing the hands and feet into the ground. Rise up into this tall mountain-like triangular shape and take a breath here. We're going to move more into stretching the hip flexors. So let's bring the right foot forward between the hands. Bring the left knee down. Palms pressing into the ground. And get used to being here first before we move into Anjaneyasana. At this point, if you would like to cushion the knee, you can do that by placing a blanket or anything soft in case you need that. Otherwise, rise up, interlock the fingers, point the index fingers out in Kali Mudra, and let's hold Anjaneyasana for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. 2 more to go. Inhale and exhale, allowing the exhalation to sink you a little deeper into the stretch. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Then come up, adjust the posture so you're at a 90-degree angle at both the knees. Press your right hand into the right quad and take the left hand up to come into a side bend for Parshva Anjaneyasana to help you stretch your left psoas a little bit more. If you have a block, you can use the block under the right hand here to find some more support in this stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then release. Come back to downward facing dog. And see how you feel now on the right and the left side. Also take this time to prepare yourself for doing this on the left side, visualizing yourself doing the same thing on the opposite side before actually moving into it. So let's draw the left foot forward now. Right knee down and take Ashvasanchalan for a moment or two. And then rise up into Anjaneyasana on this side for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Second breath, inhale slowly. Exhale completely. One more breath. Let it out. And then release the posture a bit to find a 90-degree angle at both the knees, letting your left hand come to the left quad, right hand up, and find that nice stretch in the right psoas. Again, use a block if you have one to find greater intensity or a variation to your liking in this position. For 2 more breaths. And then let's release. Bring both the hands down. Move into downward facing dog. Let's bring both knees down. Cross the ankles behind. Sit back. Extend both the legs forward. And take a breath here in Dandasana. From here, bring your right foot to the left leg. So come into janu sirsasana, but we are not going to do the janu sirsasana forward bend. We are going to do Parivritta janu sirsasana. So I want you to widen the knees. The 2 knees, have as much distance between them as is comfortable for you. Walk your left hand towards the left foot. Use your left elbow to press into the left leg to allow you to open the chest up to the sky. And let this be your starting position. You want to modify it, you can use a block and rest your elbow on the block to do the same. Really get this foundation first before moving further into the full expression, or rather the next stage of the posture. Once you are set here, you are in the posture already, and slowly you can start adding more and more elements if you would like, if that feels good. So from here we take the right hand up overhead, maintain that pressure on the left leg with the left elbow to help us get this twist in the spine, in the posture, and hold it here. Breathe. Make sure that your left foot is pointing up and active and you have not lost control over it. So keep it engaged. Keep reaching up with your right fingertips. If it's more comfortable, you can also keep your right hand on your right knee to push into the ground or to push into it to help you elevate the shoulders and the chest again. One more breath. And let's rise up. Bring both the knees in, bring the left knee in rather, because one was already in, and let's switch sides. So extending the right leg out and bringing the left foot into the right leg this time, and move into our Parivritta janu sirsasana. So bringing the right hand in line with the right leg, using the right elbow to turn the chest up towards the sky, taking the left hand up overhead and holding it here. If you feel comfortable, as in when you get comfortable, feel free to go deeper into the posture, which means bringing your shoulder closer to the right knee, till you get to a point where you can grab hold of the toes, and then using the same twisting action to press your chest up towards the sky. But know that these are optional. They really don't add more to the practice, but they definitely help us keep motivated, or rather help keep us motivated and engaged with the mat. So let's take 2 more breaths here, wherever we are and wherever it feels good. Then on an inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the the right foot in to come into Sukhasana. From Sukhasana, find a comfortable position, the one that you feel most balanced in. Walk your hands forward and bring the forehead all the way to the ground. If you can't reach the ground, you can make 2 fists like this and rest your forehead on the top hand. You can again use a block or a blanket or a pillow to rest your forehead. This is going to help us unwind as well. It's a very relaxing forward bend. But make sure you don't push yourself to a point that your lower back starts to feel uncomfortable. Take this time to slow down your breathing. I always structure my classes in a way that the last posture allows you to move into a more disconnected state as far as your senses are concerned. So it could be forward bends like child pose, or this position that we're doing, or Makarasana, or simply lying with our eyes closed and knees bent on our back. All of these have a similar, or rather create a similar disposition as what you would expect in the practice of pratyahara, or withdrawal of our senses, to prepare us for meditation and pranayama. Let's rise up. If you would like, you can keep your eyes closed and enjoy this awareness of tuning in, and just change the position of the legs. If your right leg was forward, bring your left leg forward now, or the other way around, and come back to your forward bend from here. This position also creates a sense of surrender and humility. Allow yourself to completely surrender to the ground in this position. Whether or not our forehead reaches the ground, our intentions can be the same. The purpose of our practice can be the same, and it will have the same impact. We all don't have to look the same. Once you understand that about yoga, and once you realize that it's not just a practice for the body but of the mind, you can derive a lot of benefits by being on your mat, while you're off the mat, during pranayama or during meditation. So remember that, remind yourself about that now. To have no judgment towards yourself, to have an open mind towards the practice, and to give yourself the freedom to explore what you like, what you don't, without any preconceived expectations. Let's rise up. And with your eyes still closed, if that's comfortable, simply lie down on your back. Knees are bent. And drop both the knees to the right side to come into a spinal twist. Hands, or rather arms, are extended out at 90 degrees to help you make a T shape with the body. Hands at 90 degrees to the body, and both knees dropping to the right. Knees may not be on top of each other today. Let them separate, let them be a little zigzag. bring both the knees in, back to center, and then drop them to the left side. And as you do that, also take your drishti to the right. Eyes are closed. By drishti, I mean the position of the neck. You're looking towards the right. Come back to center. Straighten both the legs. Palms facing up. Slightly away from the body. And move into shavasana. The body is completely relaxed now. The face, forehead, and jaw is relaxed. Eyes are relaxed. And your shoulders are relaxed. Body is completely rested. Please do stay in this position for the next 3 to 5 minutes or more if you would like. Even though I will say goodbye now, your practice can continue. Thank you so much for joining me today.